Now, Indiana will see another increase in state gasoline taxes starting July 1st amid promises of inflation relief, including a proposal to issue direct payments to Indiana residents later this month. The state's residents will pay 60 cents per gallon in taxes on gasoline. This is another jump from June's record high 60 cents per gallon tax. And fuel costs were expected to continue to rise in July, and the gas tax increase emerged along calls from Indiana Democrats since March to suspend the tax to aid residents feeling the worst inflation in 40 years. Governors everybody are taking big action to help Americans that are experiencing financial situations and difficulties right now. There is a big update. The Democratic Governor Gretchen Whitmer of Minnesota urged President Biden to pause the federal gas tax, just months after declining to pause her own state's gas tax. Governor Whitmer penned a letter to Biden asking him to work with Congress to temporarily pause the tax, a move that would save Americans 18.4 cents per gallon at the pump. The letter came after the president told reporters he was weighing whether to pursue such a policy. Governor Whitmer said in the letter, "Getting this done would save families money right now, as Americans bear the brunt of inflation and face rising prices on everything from groceries, childcare, rent, and other critical expenses. The federal government has the ability to reduce the prices and put more money into their pockets. Getting this done will offer real relief without compromising the federal government's ability to make infrastructure investments." Now, Whitmer vetoed legislation in April that would have paused Michigan's 27 cents per gallon gas tax. The Michigan governor said at the time that the tax was important for funding infrastructure projects statewide. Governor Whitmer vowed instead to work on the solutions like cutting Michigan's 6% sales tax on gasoline purchases. Republican state representatives also said after Whitmer's veto that with rising prices hammering family budgets, especially at the gas pump and the grocery store, people will need and deserve some help. Lowering taxes is one of the quickest ways and most effective ways to provide financial relief. Instead of blocking legislative efforts, the governor should be working with us to help people in Michigan in their time of need. According to AAA data, the average price of gas nationwide fell to $4.97 per gallon after hitting an all-time record high of $5 a gallon last week. Over the weekend, multiple reports indicate that the Biden administration is considering a couple of options, and new stimulus plan to address rising gas prices. According to the Washington Post, Biden said he would make a decision on a gas tax holiday by the end of the week. This would
out there that got this money that they realize they don't really need to survive, that might be willing to do something similar.
I've not met a cop who likes a bad cop. There's bad in everything. There's lousy senators, there's lousy presidents, there's lousy doctors, there's lousy lawyers. No, I'm serious. But I don't know any police officer that feels good about the fact that there may be a lousy cop. I'm tired of not giving the kind of help they need. Folks, look.
Now, some of you guys may not automatically get your fourth check. There are also huge changes to monthly benefits that may be coming next month. New delivery dates have been confirmed by state officials, and here is your daily update for your fourth stimulus check. A nationwide outage was reported with the SNAP program, leaving more than 1 million people without the ability to use their benefit transfer cards to make payments at retail stores. Agencies in Massachusetts and South Carolina reported on Sunday that customers are unable to make purchases with their electronic benefit transfer cards. The South Carolina Department of Social Services wrote in a Twitter post that it is aware of processing issues of electronic benefit transfer cards due to a third-party processor outage impacting programs in multiple states. The department later tweeted out that all the systems were restored, resolving the processing issues. The Massachusetts Department of Transitional Assistance also said in a Twitter post that electronic benefit transfer card processing in the state was affected, but later said that the issue was resolved. Several U.S. states have officially announced that they will offer additional SNAP benefits to eligible families. Households who meet the requirements for the extra food stamps will get these emergency allotments next month in the state's bid to provide families in need with financial aid. This assistance is intended to help households struggling to make ends meet as a result of joblessness or decreased hours of work following the crisis. Earlier this month, Governor Abbott announced that the state will provide more than $300 million in food benefits for 1.5 million Texas households. Now, Governor Abbott told reporters it is imperative that every family across our state has access to nutritious food. Through the extension of emergency SNAP benefits and the work of Texas Health and Human Services Commission, we are ensuring Texans have the resources they need to stay healthy. But Texas is not one of the states who have officially announced they will provide extra food stamps in September. There are various other states which have yet to make an official announcement. but they're expected to offer SNAP emergency allotments to their citizens who have struggled due to the rising prices and gas prices as well. Each state in this video to learn how to receive the most up-to-date and reliable stimulus check information, folks. There's a ton of news on this, and I want you guys to get the most up-to-date and reliable stimulus news. You don't want to miss out on this important video. So now the US government, everybody, has finally approved the sending of 3 stimulus checks, and although the IRS announced they had finished sending the third payment, known as Economic Impact Check, some of you guys haven't even received that money yet, which is $1,400. So taxpayers were able to claim the payment when they filed their tax return for the 2021 fiscal year. However, this year's tax season ended on April 18th and the extension expired on October 17th. But you still may actually be able to claim any money that you haven't received from the third payment. Now, since taxpayers can make sure they are eligible for the recovery rebate credit by checking if they received a letter from the IRS, you can actually get the money still by filing your return. However, since both deadlines have passed, the amount you are eligible for would be reduced by penalties, and your refunds could be less than expected. On the other hand, everybody, people who are generally not required to file their taxes because they have lower incomes have until the middle of November to request the third stimulus check. That's through the online tax credit tool. In general, low and middle income citizens are eligible as established by the IRS. This help is intended for people who earn less than $75,000 of adjusted gross income, heads of households who earn less than $112,000, and married couples who file jointly who earn less than $150,000 as well can get the payment. The stimulus check is actually $1,400, so be sure to get it and check your mailbox for this. The IRS has said it passed a milestone of having 4,000 new workers as the agency prepares for the tax filing season again of next year. However, the IRS commissioner said the IRS is fully committed to providing the best service possible, and we are moving quickly to use new funding to help taxpayers during the busy tax season. The IRS plans to hire another 1,000 customer service workers by the end of the year. Almost all training will be complete by the President's Day in 2023, when the highest call volumes typically occur. As of October, the agency had 5 million unprocessed individual tax returns received in 2022. It included late filed returns from the previous year, and Reddick in March told the House Ways and Means Committee that he expects the backlog will absolutely resolve before December. And according to the Massachusetts governor, the first checks and direct deposits from a nearly $3 billion pot of excess tax revenue will head back to taxpayers starting next week. A spokesperson for the Executive Office of Administration and Finance said the money will head out the door under the voter-approved tax cap law. So, about 3 million taxpayers will receive a refund in the form of a mailed check or direct deposit, worth about 14% everybody of what they owed in state personal income taxes. Taxpayers owed state personal income tax last year and already filed their 2020 return are eligible and don't